Almost daily, the industry is made aware of yet another data breach, cyber attack, or disaster recovery outage. So having an effective and reliable DR plan is critical. Now, maintaining this DR plan requires a huge amount of storage. So where do you host this data? Do you keep it on premise on disk, or do you push it to the cloud? LucidLink and Veeam make it easy to establish a DR recovery process using the cloud. LucidLink enables you to mount and use S3 object storage as a local file system and read and write directly out of the object store. And Veeam allows you to establish a backup and DR plan that allows you to catalog and inventory your virtual or physical infrastructure across a centralized platform. In this demonstration, I've put together a lab which encompasses both LucidLink to S3 and Veeam. To give you an overview of that environment, I'm connected into a Germany server in Frankfurt. I've created a file system within EU Frankfurt for Lucid. That file system is mounted as V drive within my backup Veeam server. Within Veeam, under my backup infrastructure, I've created a backup repository pointing to my V drive, which has a petabyte of S3 capacity available to it out of S3 Frankfurt. On the backup host itself, I'm running Hyper-V and I've got a couple of VMs. The Windows VM that you can see comprises of just a generic file server with an operating system and a data drive. So the data drive contains a couple of thousand items. I've chosen PDFs and is 45 gigabytes of usage. So if we move back to our Veeam infrastructure and create a backup job, we're going to create a backup job for the Windows server of Hyper-V. We'll call it Windows Server Hyper-V and we'll select Next. We're going to choose the server and the virtual machine, which is the Windows file server. We're going to back it up to the S3 region as a backup repository and just keep it a standard job that we run ourselves. So when I fire up this backup job, it's going to begin the process and then start using the S3 object store as the backup repository. So we'll give that a minute to kick off and we'll see the process elapse. So now that we can see that the backup has started, we're sending through our Ethernet 900 Mbps to the cloud, to the object store in S3. When I look at Lucid properties, we can see our remaining upload growing as we're sending to the S3 object store. We can see in Veeam is backing up and its percentage increasing. So now that our backup has completed, we've processed 71 gigabytes of data, which is the operating system, and the 45 gigabytes of file server data. Veeam is completed running at an average speed of around 100 megabytes a second. The file system synchronizing with the object store bucket. All right, now that LucidLink has finished streaming the data to the object store, let's do something creative by performing a disaster recovery against our backup. These sort of things happen all the time. People accidentally turn off a functioning virtual machine and simply delete the data, including the VHD files. So let's delete our Windows virtual machine and recover by using our Veeam job we just created. So if I go to Inventory and select Restore, Entire VM, Add VM from Backup, choose our Windows server, restore to the original location, and finish. So now what we're going to see is we're going to see Veeam start leveraging the LucidLink backup repository and retrieving the backup we just completed to the cloud and remounting the virtual machine. So now you can see we're receiving at upwards of 900 Mbps from the cloud. Okay, so that's taken 11 minutes to complete. Understandably, there was quite a few gigabytes of data to recover. So we now have our Windows machine restored back to its previous state. We'll connect to it and we'll boot it up and confirm that we've recovered the virtual machine from the S3 object store through Veeam and LucidLink. So understandably, the server's a little upset that he had the power plug ripped from underneath him. If we confirm our data is still available, we'll highlight that that was a success. Excellent. Thank you for your time.